So I just recently got a comment from someone that was saying, I think I'm going to have my thyroid removed. I don't know what to expect. Now, this is one thing. I'm going to focus on one thing that can make or break you post thyroidectomy. We're talking about the difference between having quality of life versus just suffering through for years and decades post thyroidectomy. And there's so much I think is really important to understand post thyroidectomy, but this is the foundational thing that even with my coaching clients and my community group, I have to reiterate so many times. This is a complete shift in thinking. And that number one thing you've got to understand is the individuality and the art of optimizing your thyroid meds. I have seen such a, how can I explain it? A just like a bull in a china shop approach, if that makes sense. This for everyone, just power through and keep moving on. Like T4, we tested your TSH, go on. And I have truly been so disappointed with the medical system, both here in the US and worldwide, because I work with people all over the world. I have a lot of followers in different countries where medication is not being treated as something that needs to be fine-tuned, something that may not work for everyone this way, that needs to be done a different way. This art of optimization is not there for a majority of thyroid patients, but even more so for people post-thyroidectomy. And this is a really big deal because one thing I want you to understand is that when you lose this vital organ, you have lost this intelligent vital organ that has a natural adaptability where we have the ability to respond to our internal and external needs with more thyroid hormones, less thyroid hormones. If you have a conversion issue, your thyroid gland can create more T3. There's a separate system of conversion in the brain versus the thyroid. There's something different that's going on in the tissue level. It is just this orchestra of different steps to optimal thyroid hormones. And what frustrates me is that doctors, when they look at thyroidectomy, they view it as the good cancer. Why? Because you cut out this vital organ, you get on this little pill for the rest of your life. And in their mind, once American Thyroid Association said this is good, even if it's outdated, even if it's not accurate for millions of people, they think, well, it works. No reason to try to fix something that's not broken, which I would argue it absolutely is broken. And if you listen to more patients that need better support, they would see that, but especially post-thyroidectomy. So what ends up happening is that a lot of you guys can end up getting just stuck with the same doctor that is comfortable in one area, and that might just be T4 only, or really that's the biggest thing I see. And you need the ability, a few different things post-thyroidectomy. You need the ability to utilize T4, T3 if you need to, natural desiccated thyroid, which that has come under attack. And I have a video and a podcast episode on my Thyroidless Life podcast that will be interviewing an endocrinologist who's doing a lot of work to fight that. But NDT, you need the ability to try whatever your body needs. And not only that, but you need the ability to optimize those numbers and change it. I have seen, number one, too many of you guys, again, sticking with the same doctor and telling me, I see so many comments, my doctor won't order labs. My doctor won't do this. And I'm going to say this with love, guys. Your life depends on this. Why are you still going to the same doctor when you have all the signs and symptoms of being hypothyroid and telling me your doctor won't? I am sorry. I don't know where I would be today if I accepted that at 20 years old. I'm saying this with love, but you need to go in, you need to find yourself a different doctor that's going to listen to you and give you what you need. Because the minute you walk out of that doctor's office, they're done with you. But you have to live with this every single day. And I'm so tired of seeing people struggling post-thyroidectomy, and it's merely because the doctor's not doing complete labs, it's not willing to work with different thyroid meds, is not willing to listen to what you're experiencing and shutting people down. You guys can't do that. If you want optimal health, you have to understand that if this doctor feels comfortable with this, that's what they're going to do. But you could find someone down the road that might be comfortable with doing something different. And now let me say the second thing about this, because then there's a lot of you guys that are expecting more from your doctors than what they're there for, right? You've got to understand your life. You've got to understand how your body's feeling and changing. You have to be able to have a conversation with your doctor and not leave it completely dependent on them. Okay, you guys need to work with functional practitioners. You guys got to optimize your health. You've got to nourish your body. You got to move your body. There's things that you have to do that are going to affect how your body responds to your thyroid meds, if you're able to convert it, activate it, how much thyroid meds you need. But you guys are going in there and just saying, okay, like you tell me. And it's like, listen, you can't do that anymore. You've lost a vital organ, or you're about to lose a vital organ. You are in charge. You've got to speak up. And if it's not working, you got to change it, right? Because your thyroid meds, I will tell you this. I had someone, we're talking about from a 2.8 to a 3. She's not optimal yet, but coming from where she was, a 2.8 to a 3, split dosing her meds, it's a completely different person. Her energy levels, she's seeing a difference in her quality of life. You guys think that a minor change won't have a big impact on you, and it will. But so many of you guys are in the 2 range of free T3, which medical ranges are really, really broad. You need to optimize that. Free T3 should be above a 3.5. That free T4 should be that mid-range or above. You have got to, once you get into those functional ranges, then you have to tweak it up, then tweak it down according to seasons, according to what you're experiencing, according to different years. There is this number, the amount of thyroid meds you are and what thyroid meds you are, like what specific ones you are on, honestly should not stay the same in your post-thyroidectomy life long term. They shouldn't, because our thyroid doesn't act that way. A majority of you guys need some T3 support. This is a really big deal. The more I'm reading, the more I'm seeing of studies, the more I'm hearing of researchers and their work with T4 to T3 conversion, the more I'm like, the more I think a majority of post-thyroidectomy patients need T3. Does everybody? No, because we're not all the same. But you've lost that backup system. If you are not converting and activating T4, T3 downstream, you no longer have that organ there that's going to activate for you. Guys, number one thing, going back to what I said at the beginning, is understanding that thyroid meds need to change. That the type of thyroid meds, there's many different ways to go about it, need to be specifically for you. And if your doctor just does T4 and that's it, no. Like, I can't even imagine. I've changed my meds so many times over the last 20 years, and every time I've needed to switch it, it has been like, oh, like it's like everything clicks, right? You've got to understand that there is a art to optimizing those thyroid meds for you, and start understanding it now. If you haven't had your thyroid removed, whether you just had your thyroid removed or you're years down the road, the way we change the system, and maybe we can't change the entire broken medical system, but the way that we can challenge the doctors, the medical doctors that actually care, is by speaking up and requiring more for our own health, for the quality of our life, because the quality of your life matters. Yes, you're not dead, but what's the point of living 10, 20, 30 years longer if you're just suffering and getting worse? The biggest thing I've seen from the endocrinologists that do T3 or they do things differently is them saying, I had enough patients say this wasn't working and I listened. And so not every doctor is going to be that way, okay? encountered a lot. But you can start speaking up. If that doctor does not listen, then find someone else that listens. And again, going back to what I was saying about you guys are expecting too much from these from these endocrinologists and these thyroid doctors. Like, listen, all you need is someone that says, I hear you, let's try it out for you. I hear you, let's retest in 6 weeks. I hear you. And again, a lot of what I put out in my newsletter, I'll put a link to my newsletter here. Join my newsletter. A lot of these videos is to educate you so you have more information, like you feel better equipped to go in and be able to start having those educated conversations. Let me know what your experience has been like post-thyroidectomy when it comes to your thyroid meds in the comments. And make sure to subscribe for more information like this.